Hello again. We learned yesterday that the government is doing two interesting things. One of these is decriminalising rough sleeping so that people will be able to sleep out of doors in public and pitch tents all over the place without any apprehension that they will then be moved on by the police. Also, a huge sum of money will be spent on building new council houses or social housing, as we call them these days. Although it was not mentioned in that context, both these initiatives relate to asylum seekers. There are already a number of tented encampments in London, including one in Hyde Park, in which Romanian gypsies have been living for some time. At the moment, such impromptu little townships are technically illegal, but the government will be reforming the law so that living outdoors in this fashion will no longer be an offence. In Dublin, there is a substantial tent city in the middle of town, and it's not hard to see that we shall be seeing such things soon in central London, probably in the not too distant future. As for all those new council houses, there's no secret at all about the fact that they will be used to house foreigners rather than British people. You see, the government promised before the general election last year that they would stop the use of hotels as places where asylum seekers were placed. They were quite specific about this, and some politicians claimed that within the year, the use of hotels in this way would have ended. When they won the election, 213 hotels were being used to house 29,585 asylum seekers. Now, a year later, 216 hotels are being used to house 32,345 asylum seekers. Far from ending the use of hotels to house asylum seekers, there are more than ever now. The manifesto pledge said we will end the use of asylum hotels, saving the taxpayer billions of pounds. There is no sign so far of this happening. Indeed, the situation is, as I say, worse than ever. We know that many council houses are given to foreigners. About half those in London are occupied by people born abroad. And there's every reason to suppose that this trend will accelerate and that the building of social housing is intended to allow hotels to be emptied. Allowing asylum seekers to camp out in cities without being prosecuted is another way of relieving pressure on hotels. Then there is the idea that many of them can be decanted, as the technical expression is in housing, into houses of multiple occupation, which are usually big old houses split up into bedsits. Nothing causes a neighbourhood to become more run down and dilapidated than streets full of such properties. Coming to your area soon, I fancy. There is yet another cunning move afoot, and this one is simply marvellous. You have to have some admiration for the mind that dreamt this one up. If a hotel is closed down completely and no longer functions as a hotel, then it can then be designated a house of multiple occupation, and the rooms will be reclassified as bedsits. Hey presto! 100 asylum seekers are now no longer living in a hotel. Of course, many British people are likely to be either mildly irritated or incandescent with fury at the fact that most new council houses will be given to illegal immigrants. But then we can always dismiss their concerns as a far-right plot. Perhaps they need to be referred to the Prevent programme as potential terrorists.